Hey everybody!
What's up, guys?
Welcome. This is our first official show of going live with Small Talks with Shanay. So today we have a very special guest. His name is Kanard Thomas.
Hello.
He'll be joining us today and telling us a little bit about his journey through the music industry. Just to tell you a little bit about this show. This is a show that will be going live every other Monday at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. I'll have a lot of guests to join me, just like Kanard, and I'll be going live in conjunction with the Music and Entertainment Council. It represents the Chattahoochee Valley area. Just to tell you a little bit more about MEC, MEC is a council that's founded by Arisha Z. Lawrence, and I am honored to be one of the founding members. What we're trying to do with MEC is bridge the gap between artists and the industry, because we noticed that there is a need for an in-between man, a bridge to get artists to another level. And we are striving to put people in positions to be hired in the industry, because we notice that Columbus has a lot of talent, but they tend to leave Columbus or surrounding areas such as Phoenix City, Russell County, LaGrange, all of these areas where we have a lot of talent. They tend to leave us and go to other areas like Atlanta, Austin, New York, in order to try to reach their dreams. And we want them to stay here and go to our music schools and build their studios and careers here, so that they can really enrich not only our community, but other artists that are just like us, that, really have a lot to offer the industry. So it hasn't officially launched yet. We're hoping to launch in the summer, but right now we're doing stuff like Small Talk with Shanay, to build awareness for artists such as Kanard, who has come through Columbus, and, just create a bridge. So I personally would like to thank you guys for joining us and joining my live. This is a new venture for me. This is something that I have dreamed up for a very, very long time. And MEC was put into my life to help me merge the gap between my dreams and getting into a new place in the industry for myself, because I am a background vocalist. So I do this for a living, and I really wanted to give back and share my voice and share my friends and their stories, because they are doing awesome things and they are really trailblazing and striving in this industry. And I just wanted to introduce them, and in the future, just more people that have been influenced by people from Columbus, like my bandmates and artists that I have come across and sung for. But I want to start with people who really have come from the same area as me. So I'd like to introduce my guest for today, now that I've told you a little bit about myself. My guest's name is Kanard Thomas. I met Kanard in, what would you say, 2005?
2004.
Yeah. Okay. So me and Kanard met in 2004. Kanard has been a very, very great friend to me, but he has also been doing this for over 10 years. Yes. And he has a great story, and I feel like he has a lot to offer to you, not only to you, but to the industry itself. So I'm going to start off and let Kanard tell you a little bit about himself and give a little introduction. And then, we're going to get to know the people, and the people are going to get to know him. So, Kanard, tell the people who you are.
All right. First of all, I want to thank you for having me here. It is an honor to get to share my story and touch other people. But I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, originally. Born in Rochester, New York. And I can talk about a little how I got my music start. Actually started in Jacksonville, Florida. I would say about 9 years old, elementary school. And I was at a daycare, and I was just singing around, just playing with my friends at the time. And it was a Brandy song that I was singing. Definitely a big fan of Brandy. And I was just singing, as a child, not thinking anything of it. But the director of the daycare, she heard me, and she was just blown away, and I was taken back as a child. I'm just like, I'm singing, it's just a regular thing. But she kept making me sing over and over, and she made me sing to her mom, which is the owner of the daycare, and they just fell in love with my voice and the potential in my voice. And from that moment, I then believed in myself. Hey, I may have something. So, let me thank you, and let me just see what this is about. And I actually fell in love with singing. So I joined the church, and I was the youngest in the adult choir, just singing all around Jacksonville, Florida. We used to have these things what we call outings, where different choirs go to different churches, and we just sang a group of songs, a list of songs, and just have like a really good time. But yeah, I was the youngest in the adults choir, and just went on from there to singing and programs in middle school in Jacksonville, Florida as well. And at that time, I had a change of pace. I moved from Jacksonville to Columbus, Georgia. Columbus, Georgia, that is a place that is magical. I can say that it changed my life. That's a place where I met some of my best friends, Shanay, one of them. We met in chorus, actually. That's where we connected in music, and we're still doing this to this day. But yeah, I got into a music quartet group called Music Definition. I was 14 years old. That's when we met, 2004. But at Hardaway High School, joined Music Definition, and we toured all around Columbus, surrounding areas, back and forth in Atlanta. Won countless competitions in school. If anyone is familiar with literary competitions, and what were the other ones? Literary and I can't think of the other one right now. Festivals, different festivals. We had so many different competitions, but honored to bring home first place for years, as a quartet with some of my best friends. Devin Johnson, by the way, who's an amazing producer, writer, just creator out there. And Ezra Williams, Derek Peters, shout out to my homies. We had a lot of great times together. But from that moment, I just really, just fell in love with music and just wanted to continue. After high school, I would say for me, that's why I took a step back from music, just finding myself and just going through life. I just took a step back from music, but it ate me up because I wasn't doing what I love to do. And I moved to Atlanta, for about 5 years. And I ended up moving back to Columbus when I was 25 years old. And that's when I actually started taking everything seriously. Started playing drums in church. I was just like, I'm getting back into music no matter what. I'm an intermediate drummer. Don't call me for any gigs because I can't hold it down for real. I can stay in pocket, but
yeah, you pocket.
But got back into music then, and went on to be a praise and worship leader at a church in Columbus, Georgia. And I just really kept believing in myself and just kept going. So I wrote out my dreams and aspirations, and I told myself I wanted to sing on a cruise ship. And sure enough, that dream came true. I became a cruise line entertainer for Holland America, a BB King All-Star Band, frontline singer, and we toured all around the world, many different places. I've been to more countries than I've been to states in the United States, and I'm glad to say that I'm able to do what I love to do as an artist and as a person. And even from that moment on the ship, I would always envision when I was on stage, I would be singing to a crowd of people like I'm on The Voice or American Idol, in that moment. So just changing my mind, my process, the way I was thinking, I was, seeing where I wanted to be. And I pretty much manifested that situation, and ended up on The Voice season 16, where I initially did not get a chair turn for the blind auditions, but after that, they saw something else in me and wanted me to come back for the comeback stages. And I'm glad to say that through a series of battles, I ended up winning the comeback stage, and I made it back to the lives, made it the top 24. So I accomplished something very well, and just happy about that. And also, I have music out on all music platforms. Definitely working on a lot of things for you. Shout out to Andre Brown, Modre. We got some stuff coming for y'all, but I'm very excited. Yes. Did I say too much?
No.
Okay.
Say as much as you want to say. You know.
Cool.
But So I wanted to hit a little bit on The Voice
Mm-hmm.
and what you did on The Voice because
Okay.
I was actually there. Shameless plug for myself. I came to represent. And so, what would you say that you learned about yourself through the nose? Like when you didn't get a chair turn, when you felt that feeling. Like, do you think that it drove you to do more? Do you think like it deterred you a little bit? Like, what do you think it did for you?
Nose definitely motivate me, and especially with the drive and passion that I have. You know, it just pushes me to knock down the next door. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely do what I have to do to reach that goal, whatever the goal is. You know, I'm not taking no for an answer. You know, I have to try, at least try, and I did that. And I listened to myself, my intuition. You know, just taking that time out to understand me and what I really want to do. Mm-hmm. And in that moment when they told me no on The Voice, I actually went back on a cruise ship. And I got a call from the producers, and they were asking me if I wanted to come back. So, hey, I took that no and turned it into a yes. Mm-hmm.
So, one thing that you didn't mention, but I would like to mention is when Kanard was 19, he had one of the best things happen to him in the world, which was
my wonderful son, Mr. Kanard Thomas. He is the best thing that's ever happened to me. He is definitely my motivator, and I'm glad to be his father. I'm glad to be an inspiration in his life. If you're watching this, son, I love you.
Hey, Christian. So I'd like to ask you a little bit more about that. Okay. So what do you think you would say to a young father, you know, because a lot of people get discouraged when they have kids, whether you want to be in the industry or not, you know, at a young age, because a lot of people tend to tell you what you can and can't do once you have a child at a young age. So what do you think, A, helped you in it? And what would you say to a young father that wanted to be in the industry or wanted to do what you're doing? Like, what would you tell him to keep him, like, moving forward?
To a young father that's in the industry, I would definitely tell them to include your children in your journey. I think it's important for your children to see the struggles and the goals that you reach and, you know, what you're doing. With them helping out and just being on the sideline, they'll be able to look back when they get older and be like, hey, you know, my dad did that. I was right there with him. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, it's just a beauty. It's just beautiful looking at the future, if I can say that, you know. So, or looking forward to the future.
Right.
Yeah, but I would definitely tell a father who's interested in the music industry to definitely include your kids in the process.
What would you tell a young father in general about pushing forward? Just like, because, you know, people do, especially in our community, they tend to deter people. They tend to, like, really put them down. Like, okay, well, now you can't follow your dreams. Now you can't do this, you know. And your dream could be anything from being an engineer, you know, to being a doctor, which all takes time, all takes effort. You know, it might not be a singer. You might want to be a drummer one day. You might want to be an MD, you know, or some of that nature. So, like, if they were discouraged in that way, like, what do you think is the most important thing for them to remember or to hold on to in order to keep striving and keep moving towards success?
Honestly, to follow your heart. You know, you can't live on someone else's, like, dream of you, you know? So it's not about what anybody else thinks. You know, people can get their opinions all day, but as long as you know what you want to do, I mean, follow your passion, follow your dream. So,
is there one person that might have sparked the flame in you that you could remember? As far as music goes,
one person that sparked the flame, I would say who my influencers are, musical influencers. Brandy, once again. Usher. As a child, I grew up off old school music, so just listening to like Al Green, Marvin Gaye, Betty White, so many different people. Anita Baker. Like I'm so old school at heart. Yeah.
Betty White. What's your favorite Betty White song?
Y'all don't laugh. It's the Clean Up Woman. That song goes in. Like, it really goes in.
So like, you walk around singing Clean Up Woman. So that's,
you know what? Next question. What else you got?
So we're gonna move a little bit on Usher because I know how much he influences you. Yeah. So for people that don't know, Kanard is like a die-hard Usher and Brandy fan. Like, you can really, if you listen to his music, you can really tell and like his tonality and what he does, and you know, little pat on the back, you know what I'm saying? But what would you say? Because I know you look up to him, but what would you want a younger man that looks up to you? Like, what do you want to give to the industry? Like Usher gave to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you want him to notice you because of who you are? Do you want him to notice you because of your voice? Like, do you want him to notice you because of your image? Is it a best all around?
All of that. You know, I definitely want to, you know, be a light to someone, and I just like the opportunity to touch people with my music. So, looking up to me, I would say I would leave all of that. The image, you know, personality, just being a good person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Being good at heart.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So how would you say, like, being from Columbus, being from Hardaway High School, go Hawks,
Hardaway.
You know, shameless plug to Hardaway. How would you say that Columbus, you know, you said it changed your life. How would you say that it shaped you? Like, because you were with Music's Definition. So how would you say it shaped you musically? Do you think that you would have gone as far without Columbus? Like, do you think that you still would have like tried to do this?
Columbus has definitely shaped me to be a better musician and a better person, honestly, because of my support system. Like, I never would have think like leaving Jacksonville, Florida, because I was honestly devastated. That's a different story why I was devastated leaving Jacksonville, but you know, it was unexpected, and I was ready to go back home to Jacksonville, you know, not knowing why I'm really up here in Columbus. But I met some of the best people, the most talented people that connected with me, you know, musically, with our personalities, you know, with our goals. And I think that shaped me because I had a great support system. I really did. So it pushed me in that way. You know, we all pushed each other. And I love that.
Yeah. For people that don't know, Music's Definition did things like the Georgia pageant.
Miss Georgia pageant.
They used to travel like all around the country, and Kanard was like 15, 16 doing these things, all like traveling like all of these places, and like going places with Miss Narissa Johnson, you know, and taking you all over. And I feel like it really prepared you for like boat life and touring and all of those things, because it's a lot of hard work to constantly be on the road. And I feel like things like that, we don't see it at the time, but it molds us to, you know, do what we do now, and helps us to see the beauty in it. Because a lot of times people get so used to going through the motions that they really forget to stop and smell the roses, for lack of better metaphors.
Those are lyrics. Those are nice lyrics.
But people forget to stop and smell the roses, you know, and things like you went through. And shout out to our music teacher, Miss Tommy, R.I.P. You know, people like her, I feel like really influenced us, because without that, you know, you wouldn't have met the rest of the Music's Definition.
I learned
you know,
so much in Columbus. Like, Miss Tommy, like just being in Columbus and the training that we got in high school, just learning all those different songs and languages. Like, we used to sing different languages in high school, and it was out of this world when we came together, and the beauty that came out of this big choir, even from different time signatures and you know, different eras. It was a beautiful thing, man.
Right. Seriously.
I learned so much.
Jazz.
Oh my God.
All kinds of things. Like, so I want to talk a little bit more about your support system, because I feel like it's very important for people to understand the importance of a support system, because a lot of people aren't afforded one. I want you to talk about a little bit more about like people that actually came to help you and push you. And I want you to talk about the people that didn't necessarily push you, because, you know, there is a bad side to this industry too. You know, people don't like to talk about it, but I feel like it's important. So I'd like you to talk a little bit more about that, and like some deterrents that might have come your way.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm fortunate to have not to have had a situation where I didn't have, you know, someone to support me. I don't have any experience in that, but again, with my support system, you being one of them, you know, Devin Johnson again, man, I can go on and on. I don't even want to start dropping names, but I would say, and the obstacles that I faced. Okay, there were definitely a lot of dark times that I came across. Man, I want to go so deep, but I don't want to tell too much.
You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. You just go as deep as you want.
Yeah, there's always gonna be obstacles that come our way, but I just, again, take that time out to myself and understand me and what it is I want to do, and not let anybody push me.
Yeah. Let's reshape the question. Yeah. What do you feel like Columbus needs in order to support its artists better? Like, what would you say that it needs more of as a whole?
I would say, well, more schools are coming, to help in that way for music. Art schools, most definitely. But I would say, again, I keep going back to support system. Like, you have to have people that believe in you and, that want to see you win. So,
yeah, like promotion and advertisement, more festivals, because we actually could have
festivals.
More
that would be so dope. Yeah, that would be so dope. There's so many dope artists in Columbus, man, and they need to be heard. But again, like you said, they go to surrounding areas. But if we bring more festivals in, I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, and more stages in general, just for people to be heard.
Most definitely.
Yeah, for sure. So, Kanard, tell the people about your singles. Kanard has a single called...
I have a few singles on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, any of your music platforms, Deezer, called I'm sorry, I don't even know my doggone the name of my singles, but it's called See What I See and Can I Come Over. I dropped those last year, 2020, in the pandemic. Very fun time. I'm also working on a lot more music. I have some songs lined up with Andre Brown once again. We got some dope stuff. Also, JR, we have a dope song coming out. It's more of a ballad. Shot a video to it as well, so that is slowly coming out. So be on the lookout for that.
Yes. Yeah. So how would you, for people that aren't familiar with your sound, how would you describe your sound?
I would say, because I get a lot that I sound like Maxwell, Babyface. I have a very smooth tone.
Come on, smooth.
A little smooth. Could be raspy at some times, but definitely R&B and soul at heart.
Yeah. Mostly in the falsetto is what he's trying to say.
Okay, I'll take that.
So you say you sexy, went on the sexy
side. Yeah.
Yes, but tell the people how they can find you.
You can find me at I am Kanard Thomas on Instagram, Facebook, Kanard Thomas on YouTube, and I am Kanard Thomas on Twitter.
Yes. So spell out Kanard Thomas for people that
Yes, most definitely. That's KANARD THOMAS. Yes. Kanard Thomas.
Kanard Thomas.
I am Kanard Thomas.
Well, I would like to thank you for being here. Like he said, he is like one of my best friends. Yes. And I feel like he was being modest when he was talking about his tone, because Kanard has one of the best voices that I've heard. You know what I'm saying? And another thing that he didn't mention was that we used to sing behind Lloyd.
We did.
Like in lounges and stuff like that. Me, Kanard, and Karita Law. And Kanard would sing D'Angelo, Brown Sugar, and make everybody go crazy. We literally had one show where people started running towards the stage as soon as we started the song. And that was in Columbus. Yep. And as soon as we started the song, they started running like he was D'Angelo. Like, we were like, he's Kanard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they literally took off towards the stage and stayed there until he finished the song, to the point where we had to keep the song going for another 5 minutes. Like this is back before he had the long dreads that y'all see now. He had the little baby links. You know what I'm saying? Still cute. He was still cute. You still do it. But, so he's being very modest when he talks about his voice, because a lot of people that are familiar with Kanard knows that Kanard can belt. He can sing up in falsetto, sometimes higher notes than I can.
She's so nice.
Like, I'm really not that nice, but I'm just... Oh, that was... Okay, see,
We don't
we
say
about to
too
have
much.
a best friend moment on the live Facebook,
Right.
you know. But he really is a talent, and I would love for everybody to look out for him because he's working very, very hard on his. Can I say what it is?
I don't know what you're gonna say.
Oh, he's working very, very hard on his project.
Most definitely.
Okay, great. So he's been tediously working and like really putting his all in it, putting his foot in it, like the older people would say. And he's like gone to the drawing board. He's created his team. He's created his business called
Chase Music Entertainment.
Right.
Yes.
And he's also an awesome writer. This is actually my writing partner. And I just really wanted people to get to know you and your talent and your works because I really believe that Kanard is going to be a great, you know. He already is a great, but I feel like he's going to be a legend of Columbus, you know.
I appreciate that.
And it's not because I'm his friend, like that adds on to it, but it's really because I just not only admire his talent, but I admire him as a person and as a father. He's an awesome father, like, and Christian, shout out to Valerie, who's his mother, but
My
Christian, yes, your son's mother. But Christian is a very well-rounded gentleman, and because of Kanard, you know, and as we pointed out before, you know, Kanard had him at a young age, but it never stopped Kanard from, if anything, it put more pep in your step. And it really, I just saw another fire just light in him where it was like, I'm going to do this. I will do this. And when we saw him on The Voice, just to see Christian's face just light up because his dad was on stage and his dad was doing it, you know, and it's just inspiring for me to see because when you see somebody's journey and you see them basically grow up because Christian now looks exactly how Kanard looked when I first met him, and it's so weird to see, but he looks exactly like that. So to see him, it's like a reminder of who I met when I was 15, walking down 14. The hallways. I would tell you guys a story about how we met, but I'm not going to say that.
It's time to go.
I'm not going to embarrass him like this, but I'm very glad that you chose. I picked Kanard for a reason to be my first interview because I just really believe in him and what he has coming up because he has a lot more ventures that I'm not going to share. I'm going to wait on him to share, but I just feel like when you guys see this and when you hear him, you guys will love him just as much as everybody else does. And because he also isn't talking about like all the other works that he's done, like just going to sing for people that didn't necessarily ask him to sing, just to light people's day up, you know, or like somebody will feel bad and he'll get in front of them and start singing and they'll just like, even when he used to be a praise and worship director, like he would call us to come and sing with him and we would come out and sing behind him, but just to see him just naturally shine. You know, some people just have that gift to naturally shine. It's just in them. And I really feel like you are one of those people. And, you know, with Columbus being the place that it is, I share your sentiments in Columbus saving my life as well. Because I really feel like the Chattahoochee Valley as a whole has a spirit. And Georgia really as a whole has a spirit that really can change people. You know, there's a heart in Georgia that really changes your heart and teaches you how to be more human and how to reach out to your fellow man and how to really just I'll take you and I'll pull you up just as much as, you know, you could pull me up, you know. And I really feel like Kanard is a true testament to that because we both came from different cities and came to Columbus. So it changed us when you come from different surroundings and different situations and you come into a different place, you tend to be weary, you know, you don't really know like what it'll offer you. And music sometimes it's
the bridge.
Yeah, the bridge between different cities, really. You know, it's the language of all people, even people that live in other countries, which we can attest to that. Like, you know, everybody understands music. It's literally one of the only things that you don't have to fully digest. Like, I can listen to a song while I'm asleep and it goes through my whole entire body. Just like I'm not sure if anybody is familiar with like singing bowls and things like that, but it literally heightens every cell in your body just hearing the sound. So just imagine what a voice can do, or imagine what somebody speaking to you can do. Because once they speak certain things into you, it's energy. So it can either build me up or put me down, you know. And you're a great person to build people up. And I'm really glad that people get to see your spirit. And is there anything else that you would like to say?
Once again, I really appreciate you having me here in MEC. Looking to do big things in the community for the Columbus, Georgia, and surrounding area. And
So we want to take this moment to talk a little bit about the Grammys, and Kanard is going to be a little bit of my, co-host right now. But yes, the Grammys just passed, and some people that I have the honor of singing with were nominated, and one actually won one. Her name is Brittany Howard.
Congratulations!
Congrats, Brittany Howard. She won for Best Rock Song.
She was nominated for a lot, though.
She was nominated for 6.
Yeah.
And she won for Best Rock Song, so I want to congratulate her, and that's an awesome thing. I think this makes a 6-time Grammy Award winner for her. And the other young lady that I seen for Andy King was also nominated. She was nominated for Best R&B Performance. Yeah. And I think this is her 5th nomination. And I'm very, very, very proud of them. But we also had a Columbus native. He's from LaGrange, but he lives in Columbus. Reverend Dr. Lord Buchanan.
Lord Buchanan.
He joined her on stage, and he played the organ with I think it was a member of Coldplay also joined them, and he did an awesome job. If you weren't able to catch it, it is on Brittany Howard's page. They did Never Walk Alone. It was Britney's rendition. They also did a commercial for Johnny Walker where they performed this song as well, where Lloyd was on there. And they played the commercial 5 times while we were even watching. So it was amazing. Lloyd did great. He played that organ. If you know anything about Lloyd Buchanan, he can play
some keys, period.
He plays the keys. He can play the organ. He can play the bass. He can just play. He can flat sing too. He can flat foot sing, as the old people say, flat foot. So I'm very proud of him. I want to give him a shout out because it's not really rare that we make it to the Grammy stages, but it is rare that we get recognition. And I want to give him his flowers. We sang with Lloyd. Lloyd brings on a lot of talent.
Lloyd has one of my favorite voices.
Yes,
most definitely.
For sure.
That tone and everything.
For sure. He can take you there. He can take you there, for sure. And he also does a lot for the music community. He works at the Loft. Well, he's one of the people on the board at the Loft. And what's the church? Pastor Val.
Revelation Missionary Baptist Church. Music director.
Yeah, he takes you in. So to see him play the organ and share that part of his talent with people, it brought tears to my eyes. So I really want to represent for him. And like everybody knows, Travis Green is from this area as well, and he was nominated in the gospel category. So clap it up to him. So just giving a shout out to people that are from the same places as us and walked the same streets and did the same things, and I really just want to give them their accolades, because man, it's a blessing, especially in a pandemic, to be able to share our talents. It is a blessing. And I am so proud of him. I encourage you all to go and look it up and to follow his page and his journey for sure. And just give it as many views as you can just to support us and support this time, really, because you guys, 2020 and 2021 have been a time for music in general. This is the first time that something this big has happened where we really didn't have music to get us through, and other times literally the music is what marched us through the times, what I'm saying? And so for people to still have the oomph to go do it and doing the necessary things to go do it, because you have to get tested, you have to get another test, and then you still have to come in, and I'm still nervous to play, but to get on these stages and be around all these greats and to see your peers in real time is a beautiful thing. So I just encourage everybody to go watch it, jack up the views as much as you can. Go to Kanard's YouTube page and subscribe to his page and view his works, because he has awesome
more content is coming
music.
soon.
Yes, it is. But he has great music, you guys. Even the things that you're featured on. That should go look that up too.
Yes.
But just go and support. Even please support the Music and Entertainment Council's page. Please go and like and subscribe to them as well, because there's going to be more content. And My Black Has a Purpose, their page, please go and view that, because they have a lot of content. They do a lot of interviews on that page as well that we really can support, and really let's get behind each other and let's lift each other up and let's do it, because Columbus has the potential to really be a mecca.
Yeah.
To be honest, we really have so much talent, and there's so much to offer it, not only in the music industry, but in the film industry and the entertainment industry. We have producers, we have plenty of musicians, we have people in the STEM industry. No matter what it is, let's just be sure to like really build each other up and really like support each other, because I feel like in these times, if it hasn't taught us anything, it teaches us that time is precious, time is not promised. So in the time that we have, we really need to use it, and we really need to use it to the best of our abilities, because the one thing you can give to anybody is your time, and love is also free. So love what you're doing and put time into it, you know?
That's nice.
Thank you so much. So with that being said, we're about to sign off again. I really, really, really appreciate you guys for viewing this with me and spending time with me today. This is my first official show by myself hosting. Thank you so much. Join me next week where I have another guest joining me. I'm not going to give it away right now, but please follow me so you can know. And remember that nobody knows your purpose better than you. And please pray, please meditate. So whatever your purpose is, you do it correctly. And I love you guys, and I love you, Kanard. And thank you for coming. Please follow him. I'll repeat all his platforms for everybody. His IG is at I am Kanard Thomas. Please go and follow him. And his Facebook, you can follow him there at Kanard Thomas. And go to YouTube, where you can follow his YouTube page, which is Kanard Thomas.
Kanard Thomas is KANARDTHOMAS.
Yes.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys. See you soon.